good, y'all? It's the Prodigy in the motherfucking building. Back again on the field, this DJ and a bitch. Reacting, actually not reacting, but actually for my wrestling fans, this video is going to be for you, but WWE. Man, as we know, it is a certain man's final match, his final say, his final word, his final thing he earned, and it's time for him to wrestle off into the sunset tomorrow night at Saturday Night's Main Event for the last or the final time. You know, that's how they say, the final time. The last time is going to be now for that boy, my childhood hero, my second favorite and greatest of all time, only under The Rock. That being John Cena. Hold up the threes. That you can't see me. The salute down to the ring. Talk to cameraman Stu, man. Towels and all. Never give up. Anyway, it is time for Saturday Night's Main Event, and we're going to right now get into the predictions for Saturday Night's Main Event. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into this motherfucker. First match that I'm going to predict here, and I'm predicting based off of, like I say, how I kind of base it off like what I feel / what I think they're going to do. Because sometimes what I feel like is not what they're going to do. So that's why I try to actually get the predictions right rather than go on feelings. I try to go on like, what do I think they're going to do? What does it lead to? Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, prediction number 1. Let's start off with predicting the easiest one. Let's start with the easiest one. The tag match between AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, the World Tag Team Champions, and they're going to be defending their championships. I think it's confirmed that it's a championship match against Leon Slater from TNA and your boy is Bouncy Javon Evans. That man is literally a freaking prodigy like me, you know what I'm saying? He's really good in the ring pretty early on in his career. He's freaking gonna, obviously, as they say, be the future. He's been killing it, especially as of recently, has been freaking killing it. And the funny thing is, he's only like a year older than me. I think he was born in 2004 and I was born in 2005. So it's crazy, bro. But anyway, yeah, this guy's gonna freaking kill it. I think this match is going to be fantastic. Obviously, the premise of this whole thing is that they're exhibition matches. They don't have a lot of story or really any story or build-up. It's more about showcasing the NXT talent, / just the future of the industry, which is mainly NXT is all about presenting the stars of tomorrow. And you know, knowing how John Cena has been over like the last 10 years specifically, you know, he's all about showing, like I said, since the last like 10 years, he's been about showcasing the new talent and how it's their time and stuff like that. So he want to show my boy Javon Evans, you know what I'm saying? And we knew Javon Evans had to be a part of this. Like, if you were looking at like how, you know, they were obviously shaping up the card for like, here's the future, you already knew Javon Evans was going to be overqualified to be in this motherfucker. So who I predict will win? I think it'll be a great match. I think it'll be a really fun match. It may be even be the match of the night. You know what I'm saying? You never goddamn know. But all that being said, all of these guys are very athletic. All these guys can do a lot of cool shit. I think everybody in this match can also do a lot of high flying shit. So the funny thing about that is, yeah. But that being said, I do think they're gonna respect the OGs or the OG and AJ Styles and give him and his partner Dragon Lee, the team of AJ Lee. Dragon Lee and AJ Styles, I think they will indeed give them the win here. Mainly because I don't really, as cool as it would be to see a Javon Evans and a Leon Slater win WWE World Tag Team Championships, I just don't see it happening that way, especially considering on Monday Night Raw, you know, they reunited the Souls, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, for Shorsky. If you ask me, a Mount Rushmore tag team, at least in my eyes, because of obviously the era I would have watched and grew up on, they got to be in my Mount Rushmore for sure. Anyway, and it was like them and the New Day, and they had just beat the War Raiders. So they're really trying to shape up that Raw tag team division, which I really respect that they're trying. So for, like, as we've been saying with WWE, you know, there's been some good moments, but overall this year was not good. But I'm glad to see what we're working on for the future, the near future, because AJ is retiring next year. The near future, we're trying to get some tag teams going in this tag team division, because Lord knows we need some goddamn tag teams so that tag team wrestling once again can be considered like a main event field style match for their respective division. But anyway, I do think that it's going to be a great match. Like I said, AJ Lee. See, now I can't even stop saying it. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee is going to get the win. I am going to work on slimming down. My face feels fat. I ain't gonna lie. I'm working on slimming down. That's a side note. Anyway, yes, but I do think they are gonna retain their championships and they're gonna have a great show. And like I said, I don't really see them putting it on Javon Evans and them. But like I said, considering he's in NXT and they're still trying to build the division, or they just started trying to build a division on Raw, so that's why I say that. Anyway, move on to the next match, and that's Bayley versus Sol Ruca. Now, Sol Ruca's obviously a fantastic athlete. She can got done cartwheel and backflip over the top rope and springboard and front flip into a clothesline and all this other crazy shit. Her cool finish with the Soul Snatcher, which is a wild fucking name for it. I know because her name's Sol Ruca, Soul Snatcher. I get it, but it's like, damn, in modern days, Soul Snatcher means a little something different. Anyway, yeah, she has the guy done, run into the turnbuckle, flip forward, and catch him to the cutter. She do a lot of cool shit. And as you can see, they clearly chose that in all of NXT, this is the woman they decided to showcase. Now, my favorite personally in NXT is Jada Park. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Miss Parker. But, yeah, they need to put her back on television. But, it's dope to see her, Sol Ruca, in this spotlight, man. Now, I will say, I was pleasantly surprised that Bayley, of all people, was the person they chose. And that goes to show you how reliable they feel she is. She's obviously a veteran, obviously a top name. But it would have been interesting if they would have chose like a Becky Lynch or a Charlotte or a Rhea or just somebody they have recently presented as like bigger attractions. Even a Io Sky, that would have been a great match. But they went with Bayley, and they probably feel that she's... Well, I think it's also because Bayley works really well in the ring. So it would almost be kind of like, because Bayley works really... Like, she can work well in the ring, so that can allow Sol to showcase her crazy athleticism. Where if you were to have like a Io in there, they would have both been doing crazy shit. So maybe this is like one of those, okay, let's spotlight Sol Ruca in this match. That being said, I can't really see why Bayley would win this match. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't really see what it would do. I think Sol Ruca might win this match only because I'm not really seeing how this would benefit Bayley in any way possible, shape, or form. And to make this match mean something and for it to be in any way impactful, I think that you would probably have to give Sol Ruca the win here. I wish there was 5 matches on this card, but it is what it is. I don't know why they've been lowering the amount of matches on the cards as of recently. But anyway, to 4 matches. I don't know why they've been doing that. But anyway, Sol Ruca, I do think we'll get the win here only because I'm looking and I'm like, maybe they could choose Bayley, but I just personally cannot really see what it does for Bayley. Like, I'm not envisioning... I can envision more of a surprise upset from Sol. Because think about it. I don't see this card with every single young talent showcase on this losing. That's another reason why I'm saying Sol Ruca's going to win this. Because she would have to be the one talent, the one young talent on this card that actually like wins a match that is of any importance and meaning. So I'm probably going to go Power Rangers. Anyway, I will go Sol Ruca to win this match. It should be a really good match. And hopefully everything goes well. And like I said, shout out to Sol carrying the future of women's wrestling right now, man. As far as like they've decided to choose her out of all the NXT, no Blake Monroe, like people who got like a little more experience, no Blake Monroe, no, not even the champion, JC Jane or none of that, man. They chose Sol, so it goes to show you they wanna do something with her, man, and that's dope to see. But anyway, hopefully it's a really good match. And I do have Sol winning that because I feel like she's probably the one young talent on this card that actually will win their match. Which leads me to why I say that for the next one, which is my boy Obafemi versus Cody Rhodes. Champion versus champion. Not for the title, but like just champion versus champion in terms of there's 2 champs going at it. Not like there's a winner take all. You don't get that confused. Anyway, look, man, how I think this match will go is big boy Obafemi, because even though Cody is the face of the company and he's like, probably the best book guy there as far as like wins and losses, is the most one of at least the most protected superstars because he's the face of the company. He's a hard guy to beat. I think he's only been beaten by like 5 people since being back in WWE, and that's not too bad of a track record. So that being said, I do think some people are saying Drew interferes because of their feud. Drew interferes and cost Cody the match, and Obafemi gets the win. But I just don't see, because the only reason why I don't see that happening is because then you would have to rationally explain why Obafemi is in NXT. Or it would make it hard now to believe that an NXT talent could beat Oba, because if Obafemi, even with help, right? If Obafemi just defeated the face of the company, this is the man, Cody Rhodes, who has kicked out of all types of shit. A bunch of shit, that SummerSlam match he had this year, that was great with John Cena. The freaking match that he had with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 was great. And he kicked out of so much shit out of that match, and you telling me he can't put away Obafemi? Even with help. He can't, because like I said, we saw Cody have help, and he kicked out of all that shit at WrestleMania 40. So you can't tell me that he's not going to put away Obafemi. Now, would it be a cool shocker if Obafemi won this? Sure. But y'all also got to keep in mind that this is the WWE champion. This is no schmuck. It'd be different if it was like a top guy versus Obafemi. Maybe some screwy shit happens. Oba gets the win. But this is the WWE champion. You seriously think they're going to have your WWE champion lose to Obafemi? Like when he lost to Seth Rollins, that was different because Seth needed that win. And on top of that, he had already beaten Seth a bunch of times. And then even more on top of that, when he had Crown Jewel this year, not only did Seth cheat, but Seth is a world champion. So it makes, he at that time, he was the world champion. So it makes sense that he would beat another world champion. That's like balanced, But with Obafemi, it's like he's the NXT champion. So there's levels to the shit. And that being said, I do think this match will be it should be a good match for sure. Both guys can obviously wrestle. This should be a good match. I do have Cody winning, but I think Oba, because if you watch the main roster, even in the last time is now tournament, Gunther went against Javon as far as like veteran top star versus a rookie top star in NXT. They just did this in the last time is now tournament with Gunther and Javon, and what did they do? They made it a good back and forth match where obviously Javon lost. I think it'll be the same here. They're gonna still do that thing of like rookie goes up there. And because Oba's a big, strong guy, he's obviously going to be able to do a little more damage than the average guy as far as like, Oba's obviously going to be like not torturing, but like he's obviously going to be throwing Cody around early in the match. Because naturally, just because, let alone being an NXT top talent, he's also just a big fucking dude. So obviously, if you ask me, they're having Oba throw Cody around, power slam him, beat him down because he's a bigger guy. It doesn't even, even though Oba's not on Cody's level yet, he's a bigger dude. So naturally, he's going to be like beating him down, beating him up, all this type of stuff. And I think it'll be a type of match where Oba gets a lot of the offense early because he's a bigger guy, and Cody has to, take down the bigger guy. And then ultimately, they're going to have Cody win this match. Now, I'm not saying that there can't be interference from a Drew or there can't be interference from even a Ricky Saints, who I think just turned heel this past NXT when he cost Javon his world title match. There could be interference from him. Or it could just be a clean match where Cody gets the win and maybe Drew attacks after. You never know what happens. But anyway, I do have Cody winning. No matter what happens, I do have Cody winning this. I'd be shocked if they gave it to Oba. It's just, when I especially look at my brothers, they haven't really done well as far as like having them beat these veteran talents, especially ones with like world titles. They've not done that at all. So I have no reason to believe they're gonna do it here. Like when I look at track record, they've not done this. Only time we've had anything like this is when Kevin Owens beat John Cena, but even then, that was when John Cena was kind of on his way out, and when he was the U.S. champion. This wasn't the guy they were building company around anymore. Like this guy was like about to get out of here. Like that was like John Cena's last full year as a WWE superstar, and then he obviously went part-time and all that. But that being said, I do have Oba losing here, only because we look at track record and we have no reason to believe that they'll give this. Even with interference, We have no reason to believe they'll give this win to Oba. And also have Oba be one of the few people that's beaten Cody. Like, you really think they're going to put Oba Femi in the short list of people that's beaten Cody? You can come back to this video and tell me if I was wrong. And I'll be pleasantly wrong. But I just don't think that's happening, especially with him being the WWE champion. They definitely want to keep his losses. Bro, he's a WWE champion. They're not going to have the WWE champion lose to the NXT champion. They had him lose to Seth when he was the world champion, but that makes sense because they're both world champions. But losing to the NXT champion while he's the WWE champion, not like a mid-card champion, he's like the number one guy, face of the company. Yeah, I think they're going to keep his losses a little more sacred, if you will. I don't think he's losing again until he loses the belt at this point. But should be a good showing for Oba nonetheless. That's what this is all about, other than what we will say in the last match. All about showcasing the newer talent. I do think Cody will get the win here. And like I said, I think Soul is the only young talent that will actually get the win on this card. Moving on to the last one, man. For the final time, retirement match. Can't believe it's really happening, man. But John Cena, this is the last time I will predict a PLE with John Cena on it. That's crazy. Or not PLE, but this is the last time I will predict a card with John Cena on it. It's crazy to think, as a wrestler at least. John Cena versus his final opponent. Longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, 666 days, and two-time World Heavyweight Champion, or the Ring General, Gunther. Now, this is where the video might get up to, and this is where this part I might go for about 5 to 10 minutes on, because it is his last match. So that being said, let's cook. John Cena is obviously one of the greatest of all time. I've said before that I do think he is the greatest WWE superstar of all time, because I feel like greatest pro wrestler of all time is different than greatest WWE. Because WWE superstar to me is who was a better WWE superstar. You know, who embodied being a WWE superstar. I don't think anybody embodied that more than John Cena. I think The Rock is the greatest of all time in wrestling history. Like, out of all of wrestling that I've seen, I personally felt The Rock did it the greatest, as far as, like, he had all of what you need in a wrestler. Like, he was, to me, the most well-rounded, like, full package wrestler. So I put him over John Cena in that aspect. But as far as, like, being a WWE superstar, I don't think anybody embodied that more than John Cena. And I also think that John Cena has had the greatest WWE career of all time. Like, who has had a better career than John Cena, as far as, like, not only was he a record-breaking, title-taking, multi-time, never-seen 17. That was a dope little scheme right there, wasn't it? 17-time world champion, beating Ric Flair's record. Yeah, right. So most world title reigns in the whole company's history. But also, think of it like this. My man's John Cena got to face people from the past, the present, at, like, as in for his era. The present at that time would have been like his era. The past, the present, as far as people he was, like, rubbing shoulders with, the future, and the future of the business, and the people that we're going to see even more in the future. Like, we've had, like, 4 decades, right? Because 2000, 2010, wait. How many decades have we had of John Cena? It's 3, right? 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. And this man has gotten to face, like, basically 3 generations of talent. You know, whether you want to go from the earlier days with the Kurt Angles, like veterans like Kurt Angle and Undertaker and JBL when they initially established him. JBL and Eddie Guerrero, rest in peace to him. He wrestled freaking guys of his era at that time. And that was, like, you know, Edge, Randy Orton, Batista, Umaga, Triple H. That would have been another veteran that he faced. I know I'm missing people, but then people of his era, right? Like the Dolph Zigglers and, funny enough, the Zack Ryders, the Chris Jerichos, even now that would have been more of a veteran, but Chris Jerichos, the CM Punks, the freaking all guys around, from the Jack Swaggers to the guy done Alberto Del Rio. This is my era now, that 2011-12. I watched wrestling when I was a kid from, like, 2011, like 2014. Then I kind of fell out of it in 2015. Then I got back into it in, like, late 2018, and then I've been in it since then. But anyway, just a little side note. But yeah, and then he's faced, like, future guys that became the future, like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. He faced guys like that. And then now he's faced guys that are even more of the future, like a Dominic Mysterio, a Logan Paul. Like, He's with Cody Rhodes now being the guy now. Roman Reigns throughout time, what that was a previous era, but like I said, guys of the future like Dominic and Logan Paul. And it's like, bro, he's faced all types of guys, whether it be from past generation, like before him, his generation, a little bit past his generation, and like way past his generation now with like a Dominic. And yeah, and John has lost, 3 matches, right? Because he lost to Brock, which was a debacle. I know Cena commented on it, and he obviously didn't want to throw anybody under the bus, so he didn't really throw any shade at anybody. He kind of tried to explain the logic behind it, but yeah, most fans like not feeling that shit, including me. Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam and Dominic at Survivor Series. So the fact that John Cena only got pinned, took losses 3 times throughout this whole retirement tour, I give them credit for not having him lose a bunch of matches. But anyway, obviously he had a great match with AJ Styles, a great match with Cody. Fun, really good match with CM Punk this year. A fun match with Randy Orton. Fun Royal Rumble. Really good to great Elimination Chamber. Heel turn could have been done. Heel turn was great. Heel run obviously could have been done better, but those are plans that kind of pivoted and fell through and all that. That's not his fault. But anyway, I say all that to say Gunther is a guy who is more of the near future, because they kind of already are. Gunther's more of the now. He would be kind of more of the near future in a sense of Gunther's more of like the next 5 years than the next 10 or like 15. Like a Braun Breaker would be like the next 10 plus years, 10, 15 years. But Gunther's more like the next 5 years. Like, he's not going to be wrestling a whole lot, I wouldn't think, past like that 5-7 year times, man. But anyway, they wanted to, some people, I get the complaints of people saying like it should be a young talent, which I would have been, interested in a Braun Breaker just because they're going to be sitting there coming around him after the Codys are more out of the picture. That being said, I am wholeheartedly fine with it being Gunther because of 2 reasons. Number 1, he's a very legitimate, believable opponent to beat John Cena, and he's the perfect heel for John Cena, like for his babyface. I mean, Gunther's the perfect heel for that. And last but not least, he's one of the only people that gives you that believable drama. Like, think about it. If LA Knight would have won, it would have been 2 baby faces, and we know they're going to love John Cena, not only because they loved him recently, but it's his last ever match. So he was obviously going to get, you don't want John Cena to get way more praise than the babyface he's going against. That doesn't look good for that other babyface. So I wholeheartedly have no problem with them making it a heel, and they have no better booked legitimate heel than Gunther. I would love to be able to say Drew McIntyre, but we know what they've done with his booking. And I would have loved to see that match in the retirement tour. But anyway, that's beside the point. Who I think is going to win this match? All those things being said, of John Cena to be my childhood GOAT and hero and second favorite of all time, the greatest WWE superstar of all time, the man I felt has had the best career of all time because he just had a lot of great moments, great promos, and matches, and a plethora of different opponents he's had the honor to face, man. But that being said, I do think that Gunther is going to get the win. I think he's going to dominate John Cena. Not Brock Lesnar style, but I do think he's going to dominate. I'm full of shit. I think that John Cena is going to get the win. Now, I know some people going, what? Y'all ready? What? Legitimately, no trolling, no joking, no rap cap. I do believe that my man's, for the final time, childhood GOAT, John Cena will get the job done, man. John Cena was my favorite wrestler of all time when I was a kid. And was still one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but just not the number one. That goes to The Rock. But anyway, the reason why I think John Cena is going to win is because, like I said, I think WWE did a good job with adding. I wish they would have gotten one face-to-face, but that's beside the point. And they actually could have had more dates. I mean, I don't know why they couldn't have made it 40 dates so that John Cena could have had a face-to-face with the last damn opponent. But anyway, John Cena getting told by Gunther that he wants to make him tap out, do the one thing he's never done before. And Gunther's all about, conquering people and doing what's never been done before. So that being said, it's a great story, I think, to tell of he don't want to just beat John Cena. He wants to make him tap out. He want to make John Cena do the thing never done before. And that's quit. That's give up. Because his whole moniker is never give up in real life. And his character on WWE all have that real attitude, real life mindset. And I wholeheartedly stand by that. That's why we never gonna quit on his YouTube channel. Anyway, no matter how long it takes. Anyway, John Cena is not going to give up because that would kind of, even on his last match, I don't think they would have the gall, not even the balls, the gall to have John Cena not only tap out for the first time as, Chain Gang. Since John Cena has been the face of the company, they've never had him tap. Right? Prior to when he was like Thugonomics, they did. But since he became like number one guy, face of the company, Chain Gang, and on to the franchise, C Nation, Super Cena guy, that guy's never tapped out, and his whole thing is never give up. So I don't think John Cena's going to give up, and I don't think Gunther is going to beat him. The reason why I say that is because, like I said, because they've added the story of Gunther specifically doesn't want to just beat him. He specifically wants to make him tap. And John Cena, I do not see tapping in any single universe on planet Earth. So that being said, because they've added that caveat of if it just would have been Gunther and John Cena, and Gunther would have just talked some shit, it'd been different. I would have thought Gunther was winning. But because he wants to make him tap out and he's basically put himself in this position, you know how boxers will be like, well, if I don't knock this guy out, I don't consider it a win or a strong win. I think it's the same thing with Gunther. Because he said he wants to make John Cena tap out, it doesn't seem like, I don't think they're going to, a lot of people are thinking they're going to do like, oh, well, maybe Gunther doesn't make him tap, but he beats him. No, because the story is that he specifically feels like he wants to make him tap out, or else nothing else is a failure, even if he beats him. Gunther's one of those guys where, like, if he's going to tell you, hey, he wants to make you tap out, either he's going to do it or he's going to fail trying. It's not like oh, well, I didn't make you tap out, but I'll choke you out or beat you. No, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they will send Washington, D.C. home happy and have John Cena win his last match. Like I said, specifically because of the story of making him tap out. Gunther has basically said if he doesn't make John Cena tap out, then it's not even a victory. So that being said, because of that, I have John Cena winning this match because he won't give up. I think they will, like I said, send Washington, D.C. home happy, and we go off with a great speech because John Cena is the greatest talker of all time, and we go off the air, man. And luckily, with it being on Peacock, we don't got no time to worry about or commercials in between matches, or in the matches, actually. It's been like when the matches are over, but not in the matches. Anyway, yes, that's all I gotta say, man. John Cena's gonna win because of the story of Gunther wants to have him tap out. And we know John's not gonna tap out because that would ruin his whole fucking gimmick. Even as his last match, why the fuck would you do that? And I don't think they'll do that. So because the story specifically is that Gunther wants to make him tap out, and John's not gonna tap out because that would fuck up his that would literally not be what the fuck. Like, that doesn't make any sense when he has it written on his merch that he never gives up. I mean, at that point you just conned all these kids because he did give up, But anyway, including me. Anyway, yeah, because that being the story, I don't think they're gonna have Gunther fail to have him tap out and then just beat him. Like, that doesn't make any sense because you've been burying this in our head that you want to make him give up. So that would not make any sense for him to fail to make him give up, but then still win. No, the whole thing is because you couldn't make him give up, that's how you lost. Like, that's the logical thing to do. So that being said, love and appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all let me know what y'all think is going to happen down below in the comments. I am rooting for Team Cena. So I got AJ Styles and Dragon Lee retaining their World Tag Team Championships. I got Sol Ruka beating Bayley. I got Cody Rhodes beating Obafemi. And I have John Cena winning his last match. Even though it seems unlikely because John's all about putting people over, the younger talent or whatever over. I don't think they're going to do it this time around. But I could be wrong. But I don't think I'm going to be. Anyway, love, appreciate you guys. And at the end of the day, what I say, it is what it is, or what it's going to be is this certified product. Continue to come out with the content videos, bangers over and over again for you guys. Doing my thing and doing it well, and I shall see y'all in the next video. Recommend other videos you want me to react to, talk about, whatever topics you want me to talk about down below. That's all you need to know. And that's the vibe that DJ is on. You going to like it. Like, I'm subscribing. I'll see you in the next video, man.